Welcome back to this YouTube channel. As we are waiting for this JAMB, we will be preparing by solving different past questions. While we await the JAMB for this year, we'll be preparing by solving different JAMB questions in anticipation of the JAMB exam, which is to start in a few months' time. Alright, we have this question before us that says, if John scored 75 in biology instead of 57, his average mark in 4 subjects would have been 60. What was his total score? Alright, to solve this question, this is a typical word problem. To solve any question under word problem, you have to try as much as you can to understand what the problem is talking about. What this question is saying is that if John had scored 75 instead of 57, meaning that John's score is actually 57. So what John scored in biology, John scored 57. But if he had scored 75 instead of this 57 that he actually got, his average mark in 4 subjects would have been 60. Now, how do we write average? Average is total over the frequency, the number. The number here is 4. Alright? Then what's the total? What we know is just 1 subject. We don't know about the 3 subjects. So let's say that let the total score for the other 3 subjects be X. Alright, so his total score for the other 3 subjects is X. Alright, and if he had scored 75 in biology plus 75, his average score, average would have been 60. Alright, if you get to this point, remember there is a fraction here facing an equation sign. What you do is you cross multiply. So if you cross multiply, you have X plus 75 equals 60 times 4. 60 times 4 will give us 240. So we have X plus 75 equals 240. All we have to do is to subtract 75 from both sides. We have X equals 240 minus 75. And that gives us X as 165. Alright, so that means that X, which is his total score for the other 3 subjects, is 165. Alright, now the question says, what was his total mark? His total mark will then be what he got for the 3 subjects plus what he got in biology, which is 165 plus 57. If you add this up, this gives you 2. Alright, that will give us 222, which is actually the answer to this question. Alright, so like I said earlier, something that is very important is for you to try as much as you can to comprehend the question, to understand what the question is saying. Read it thoroughly to understand, because JAMB questions are not usually more than 2-3 lines. They are usually simple, but you need to understand what the question is saying. Alright, let's do another example under word problem to see how we tackle word problems in JAMB. Alright, now let's take a look at this other question. I think this was JAMB past question, I think 2013. Yeah, it should be 2013. Alright, the question says 3 girls share a number of apples in the ratio 5:3:2. If the highest share is 40 apples, find the smallest share. Alright, to a lot of persons this may seem difficult, but I can assure you that this is very, very simple. It won't cost you more than 2-3 lines before you finish up. Alright, 3 girls shares a number of apples in the ratio 5:3:2. If the highest share is 40 apples, find the smallest share. Now, to solve this, let's say, since we don't know the total number of apples, let's say, let the total number of apples be X. All right. If you are solving JAMB, you know it's not a theory exam, it's multiple choice, so you don't even need to write this. You just have to have it on your head that the total number of apples there is X. All right, so the question says that they shared the apple in the ratio 5:3:2 if the highest share is 40. Now, according to this ratio, which one is the highest? Definitely the highest is 5. So the person that got 5 got the highest share. So the person that got 5 of these eggs got 40 apples. Alright, the highest, which is 5 of eggs, got 40 apples. Alright, so what's the total number here? 5 plus 3 plus 2. 5 plus 3 plus 2 gives us 10. Alright, so if that gives us 10, the person that got the highest got 5 over 10 of X. 5 over 10, 5 over the total is 10. The person got 5 out of the total, which is 10, of X equals 40. That was what the highest shareholder got. The person got 5 of the total, 5 all over the total of X equals 40. Alright, so let's solve this out and see. 5 over 10 times X equals 40. That means we have 5x, because 5 times x is 5x, all over 10 equals 40. Alright, we can divide this fraction. 5 here 1, 5 here 2. So that means that x over 2 equals 40. If x over 2 equals 40, we cross multiply. We have x equals 40 times 2. That gives us x equals 80. So now we know that the total number of apples is x. That means the total number of apple is 80. But that's not the question. The question said find the smallest share. Alright, so what is the smallest share? We know from this ratio that the smallest share is 2 out of the total, which is 10. So the smallest share is 2 over 10 times 80. Alright, so 0 cancels 0, we have 2 times 8, which is 16. So the smallest share is 16, and that shows that the correct answer is C. The smallest share of the apple is 16. Alright, so if you find this video useful, please like, drop your comments, and subscribe to this channel so that you will get more of this kind of solutions. Also, if you have any question, if you see any question from the past question that you think you want us to discuss, you can drop it in the comment section and we will make that our next video. Thank you and see you on our next video.